Okay. Hello, 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 everybody. I'm going to give it a little bit of time so people can come in and then we get right to it because you guys know me. I like to get right to everything because this streams on YouTube and it streams on Facebook as well. Hi, Kara. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Sky. Guys, happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a great Friday evening. I hope your weekend looks up for you as well. It's been pretty cold out here, but middle of winter, New York City. You guys know how it is. As long as we don't have snow. But let me knock on wood because I don't wanna jinx us. We are gonna be talking about a few things in tonight's live. Okay. You guys know me. You guys know I like to touch all the bases when it comes down to narcissistic abuse, discard, trauma bonding, everything, everything, questions and answers, everything. It bears repeating. Okay. It always bears repeating, especially when you have new people coming in for the first time, or if you have new people, catching it on the after it's streamed. And, like I always tell you guys, there's a new victim every day. Okay. There is a new victim every day. Hi, P17, how are you? And we have to make sure that these messages get out to the people that it needs to get to because, we were all there once. Even though we are educating ourselves and we're putting ourselves in a position to do better, be better, learn more, there are always going to be, there's always going to be a new person that's going through the experience, going through emotions. And we want to make sure that we can help as many people as possible. Okay. You guys are part of this journey, all of you. So let's also keep that in mind. You guys know me, I don't do intros. So anyone who's new to the channel, whether it be on Facebook or it be on YouTube, I don't do intros. I suck at them. It just is what it is. But you guys know that I'm here and it comes from the heart. Any message you get from me comes from the heart. Um, Hi, Jason. How are you? If I look like I'm squinting, guys, it's because I'm blind. My phone is a little far away. And so, everybody on Facebook, hi, guys. Welcome. I'm glad you guys can be here. Facebook's still trying to get me down. They're still trying to tear me down, guys. They're trying to get me off because let's face it, when you speak the truth, the truth is a threat. Apparently, it's a threat. So, for anyone who is not yet following me on YouTube or on TikTok, please do so. The links to all of my platforms, my other platforms outside of Facebook, is in my bio. TikTok is Narc Survival 101. YouTube is Narc Abuse Survival 101. And of course, check out the website, narcsurvival101.com. It's a website that I created, designed specifically for victims and survivors of any form of abuse, not just narcissistic, domestic abuse, relational abuse, family abuse, you name it. Okay. And so everyone knows I am an advocate for victims and survivors, meaning it does not matter if you are a man, it doesn't matter if you're a woman. Okay. I'm well aware that men go through abuse as well. And guys, I'm here for you too. All right. So just keep that in mind. All right. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. So, guys, there were a few things that I wanted to discuss, but before we get into it, I don't know if I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been seeing it, circulating online on social media and on the news. Um, the Shanquilla Robinson case, horrible, horrible, horrible situation, where a young woman lost her life, in the hands of so-called friends. A lot of people have been talking about it, and I think this really, touching this subject really, really brings us to the point where we not only have to look at our relationships, our romantic relationships, our family relationships, but we also have to look at our friendships. Okay. The people we call friends. And I always say, guys, you can have narcissistic friends. You can have friends that are manipulative. You can have friends that are envy. I mean, listen, if they're envious, if they're manipulative, then they're not really friends, right? I don't know the whole detail of every single thing that happened. I'm just going based off what I'm hearing, as far as the news is concerned, and as far as what reliable sources are giving. But apparently this very young woman, she was 25 years old, was on vacation with her friends, and it was for another friend's birthday in Mexico. And oh, Sky, thank you, sweetheart. It's very hard to go into because it's just such a sad situation. But she went, on this trip with her friends, and not even 24 hours later, she ended up, she passed away. I'm sure a lot of you, again, have probably seen it online, have probably seen it, throughout the news channels. But it's apparent that these are clearly not her friends. Clearly, because friends would not do what they did, and just what made it worse was they lied to her family with regards to how she passed away. They lied to her family members, and one of them, who was supposed to be her best friend, like her right hand man, actually sat there and recorded the entire altercation. She had an altercation with another so-called friend on this trip, and unfortunately, due to the circumstances of the violence of the nature of the fight that happened, it ended up with her, unfortunately losing her life. And the part that really, besides that, the part that extremely got to me most was the fact that she paid for all these people to go on this trip. She paid for all these people. She accommodated them. Like, she took care of everything, and they went along for the ride. And this is what ended up happening. And and again, this is why I tell everyone, I'm not trying to put you guys in a position to not trust anyone. And I'm not saying that you have to be paranoid, but you have to really understand, especially ladies, especially females, okay? You have female friends, female narcissists, female sociopaths, female psychopaths. They have zero empathy. Okay, they don't care about the friendship that you have. They don't care about you. They don't care about what they can contribute in your life. They don't care about your happiness. They care about what they can gain out of it. Now, again, I don't know what led to that situation, and nothing warrants someone being beaten so badly that they end up passing away from it. But unfortunately, with this situation, and I'm sure they'll delve more into it once the officials on, in Mexico deal with it. I'm running along the lines that more than likely it was something stupid. It was something stupid. And as a woman, this is why I don't have a lot of female friends. This is why I keep my circle extremely small, because you know as a woman, we know how females can be. We know how females can be, especially females who, maybe don't have as much as you have, or maybe they don't have the kind of status that you have, or whatever the case may be. But jealousy is real. Jealousy is real. And ladies, always, always, always use your discernment. Okay, if you ever caught them looking at you a funny kind of way, or you ever caught them like looking at you, for like from the side of their eye, you know listen, God says test the spirits. All right. You have to test those spirits. You have to use your discernment. This is scary. This is scary. We deal with situations in our personal relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. We deal with domestic abuse. But, this was so bad that they actually classified it as a femicide. Okay. A femicide. And this is just a brutal act towards a woman for being a woman. Okay, it's not a homicide. This is a femicide. And I believe in Mexico, the minimum, if you are convicted of a femicide, the minimum amount of time in jail is 20 years. That's the minimum. So just please, 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 guys, be very careful, be very discerning. Take the knowledge, take everything that you've learned from your experiences, everything that you've learned. Because narcissists, listen, I'm not saying that that girl is a narc, but at the end of the day, a manipulator is a manipulator, a jealous person is a jealous person, and a narcissist is both of those things. So you have to be extremely, extremely careful. Rob PZ, they will discard you, come back months later, ask, hey, how are you? What are you up to? Then ghost you and discard you again. That's the push and pull game. Okay? It's the push and pull game. I've said this plenty of times before, guys. If you've ever dealt with a narcissistic person or a narcissist, even someone who you know is officially diagnosed with MPD, their thing is, it's interesting. I was watching on YouTube earlier today, Love and Hip Hop. Okay, I was watching it earlier, and you know when they go over the scenes of like the timelines of different people in the shows, one of the interesting ones was the Amina, Tara, and what's his name? Peter Guns, is that his name? That situation, if you guys are familiar with Love and Hip Hop and you look at that relationship, you look at that situation, that triangle, okay? And you see how he goes back and forth, back to one, he tells her one story, back to the other, he tells her another story. I mean, that whole situation was just crazy from the jump, but the way it escalated and the way everything happened, if you look at the timeline, that is a clear cut example of what a narcissistic person is. They have no regard for other people's feelings. They have no regard for the pain that they are causing other people, that they are inflicting on other people. They have no kind of regard. Okay. They're very in the moment people. They're very, I'll deal with the consequences later. That's their mind frame. That's their, their demeanor. But with a discard, it's never over. It's never really over. For them, it's never over. For a narcissistic person, it is never over. It's over when you say it's over. Okay? It's over when you close that door. That's when it's over. And unless you close that door completely, meaning you don't let them in, you seal it with cement and you give them no room to come back in, it will continue. The push pull game, the mind games, the hoovering, the manipulation, it will continue. It'll continue up until the point that you get so tired of it, or up until the point that they have taken so much out of you that there is literally no more that they can take from you. Okay. For them, as far as the discard is concerned, it's a game. It's a game. And a lot of you know the phases of a discard, right? When you are in your relationship with them, you're going to start noticing different patterns. And remember, guys, I said it in my video, when you can, the different signs of that a discard is on its way. Okay. You'll start noticing different patterns. So remember in your relationship, if they devalued you and then they love bomb you and then they devalue you and they love bomb you, it's that reward and punishment behavior, the whole traumatic bonding that's sealing the connection during a discard, or should I say, a preemptive discard. It's pretty much, they're no longer giving you the lovey-doveyness. They're no longer love bombing you. What they're doing is now is that they're continuously devaluing you, and they are pulling away. So they're becoming more and more cold over time. And you're noticing that there's no, I'm sorry, honey, I love you, let's work on it. Or, I'm coming home bearing gifts to prove my love to you so we can work on things. No, it starts to get more and more distant. They get more and more cold. And this is primarily due to the fact that they are priming, they're pretty much grooming someone else. Okay, you'll notice that they're acting a bit more different. They're starting to, certain mannerisms, certain things that they're saying, certain ways, that they're speaking, or how they're dressing, or, maybe they are, improving their looks. They don't do it for you, but now all of a sudden they're starting to improve their looks. Again, when they're starting to groom someone else, they're basically mirroring another person. So they're going to be mirroring that other person's likes, that other person's, interests in music, interests if they like art, whatever the case may be. All the things that you never even thought that they would be interested in. And sometimes you may even ask yourself, where the hell did all of this come from that you're all of a sudden interested in all of these different things? It's simply because they're mirroring the next person that they plan on locking in as new supply. But if you notice, even though they're being cold, even though they're being distant, they're not completely just letting it go. They're not, being forthcoming and saying, this is over, it's done, I want out. they'll just basically, as they're becoming more and more distant and they are, detaching more and more. And by detaching, guys, I mean physically detaching. I don't mean emotionally detaching. I don't mean psychologically detaching. I mean physically detaching. They are becoming more distant physically because they were never emotionally invested. Okay. And when it came to psychological, they were more into psychological emotional manipulation as opposed to being mentally fit for your relationship. But as they're detaching and you're trying to figure, you're holding on, guys. Let's face facts. It all happens. It happened to all of us. You're holding on, trying to understand what the hell is going on. Why is this happening? Why are you being this way? Why all of a sudden am I complete disregard? I mean, before it was the mixture with the love bombing, but now you're completely disregarding me. You're completely, locking me out. You're pushing me out. And that's simply because they've already, again, they're grooming someone else. But they don't let you go completely simply because if by any chance, even at the last minute, if what they're grooming or what they're looking at blows up in their face or it fails or whatever the case may be, then all they have to do is turn around, come back to you and say, I just needed some time to myself. I just needed to figure certain things out. I just needed some space. I just needed this. I just needed that. I would never do that to you or whatever the case. And that's simply because whatever they were going for blew up in their face. When they come out of nowhere and they pop up sporadically, which is, breadcrumbing, they pop up sending you messages saying, happy holidays, or if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And you're just like looking at your phone, like, what the hell? Like, after everything that happened. And it almost seems as if it never happened because their attitude, their demeanor is simply mind boggling. They act as if nothing happened, like if it's just a normal day. And in some cases, if you're dealing with a really deluded person, they are literally projecting onto you, what are you talking about? Nothing, come on. We fight all the time. We argue all the time. We separate all the time, but you know how we are. We always get back together, or they'll tell you, you'll always be mine. You'll always be mine. You're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We're perfect for each other. Like, that's how deluded they are. They will literally, I don't know if you guys have ever had that. I've had a situation where after the narcissistic rage, and I literally encountered that rage, that oh so scary moment where that person looked possessed, that you didn't know who that person was. The next day it was like nothing happened. It was, hey, how you doing, how's your day going? And like, what? Okay, that is a way to scramble up your brain. It's like to scramble up your mind and make you question your own reality. Like, where weren't you the same person that just did all of that horrible crap last night, and all of a sudden you're texting me now? And that's simply because they want you to be confused. They want you to be, and even if you bring it up, they'll say to you, well, you kept pushing and you kept pressing, or they'll, deflect onto you. You antagonized me. You provoked me to do these things. If you stop provoking, and it's simply when you bring the truth to a person who has narcissistic tendencies, period, doesn't matter if they have MPD or not. When you bring the truth to the light with them and you actually shove it in their face, they will literally recede. And if you keep going at them with it and you keep throwing the proof at them, they will eventually blow up because they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They never expected you to know the truth, and they never expected you to learn the truth about them. When I would cry, he would help me feel better even when he did it. But as the days and months went on, he would see my cry and say, I'm so sensitive. Because, well, in the beginning, which is like that with anybody who has issues, because that's clearly what they have to, it's that, if you guys are familiar with my video, and if you're not, you can catch it on TikTok, the hero victim, like victim complex, where they will do something to hurt you, to hurt your feelings, And then they'll rush right in when they see that you're upset and they see that you're hurting and they see that you're crying. They'll rush right in to wipe your tears away and make you feel better. Okay. And this is all while not taking any accountability for what they said or what they did to put you in that position. Okay. They will do something or say something that will be hurtful towards you. You will become emotional, you will become reactive or responsive, and then they'll rush right in like they were the hero. I saved you from yourself. That's their mentality. When the reality is that they were the ones who inflicted the pain to begin with. When you Because remember what I told you guys, genuine people never skip a beat. Okay? If you're genuine, you will never skip a beat. When they do things that hurt you and you cry or you get upset or you feel some kind of way about it, over time they become they're numb. So over time, that mask as it's slipping, they're no longer that hero anymore. They're no longer that person that doesn't want to see you cry. I don't want to make you cry. I don't want to do these things. But sometimes you say or do things that make me react this way or make me lash out on you the way that I do. They get annoyed. They get annoyed because now your tears are nothing but, to them, your tears are crocodile tears. They won't admit to the pain that they've inflicted, knowing that they have caused pain, but they won't admit to it. So what they will end up doing is they'll end up really like pouring salt on the wound. I've had that situation as well, where I used to be. I'm not like that anymore now. Completely different person now. But before, I was a very extremely emotional person. With this person whom I loved, whom I was in love with, when they would say things or do things that would hurt my feelings, I would get emotional. In this case, I was crying because it was during the discard. I was extremely emotional and I was crying, and I'm on the phone with the person. And this person was like, oh my God, here we go again. Here you go crying again. And, it's kind of like the girl who cried wolf. You keep crying. They don't understand emotions. They do not understand how to process emotions, let alone process your emotions. And because of that, because they don't know how to incorporate it in their own self absorbed world, they see your emotions as being an inconvenience. It's an inconvenience to them, it's a burden to them. So after a while, they'll get annoyed by it. They will get extremely annoyed and they will point out to you that you are being too sensitive, you are overbearing, you are overly emotional. Meantime, they're not even emotional at all. You have people listening, you have people who are not narcissists. They just don't, they're not emotionally available. So they don't know how to process other people's emotions. They don't have to be a narcissist, okay? A narcissist, what classifies a narcissist is you utilizing manipulation, knowing that they don't know how to process emotions, utilizing manipulation to get what they want out of people to sustain supply. Someone who's emotionally unavailable is simply someone who is just not readily available to process because they don't know how to do it. They're not readily available to be emotionally there for you because they're afraid of it. They fear it. A narcissist, on the other hand, is simply someone who was raised to live in survival mode. And by survival mode, that means I have no time to deal with your emotions. I cannot deal with you and your emotions. My problems are way bigger than yours. And at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, if it came down to you and me, guess what? It's about me. It's about me saving myself. So you got to think of it this way. If you guys were on a ship that is about to sink and there's one life raft, or I should say one life vest left, who do you think, out of the two of you, who do you think is going to get that jacket? Remember, a narcissist is willing to go from relationship to relationship to relationship, or, just willing to step over your toes to get to someone else. So if you were stuck on a boat that is about to sink, we'll call it the Titanic if you want to, and there's one life jacket left, guess what? that person will take the life jacket and leave you, because at the end of the day, they can always find another you. That's their mentality. I honestly feel like I'm so damaged by him. Like, it's a feeling I can't describe. It's just hard. I just wanted love from him till this day. It's not fair. At this point, I'm getting my love from Jesus because these men, I can't. I want to, but I can't. You know, listen, I always say focus on the self-love. When you focus on the self-love, at when you're ready to, at some point, you're going to have someone, because you want a man who has balance. Okay? You want a man who has structure, and you want a man who knows emotions. Oftentimes, and I'm not saying, because single parents, usually two-parent households of secure attachment will, they'll produce a man or a woman that has secure attachment style, which means that they are not controlling, not overbearing, they're confident, they have, very little to no self-esteem issues, because, their parents taught them how to attach to people, how to discern people, how to be around people, how to respect them. Their parents showed them, emotional availability, showed them structurization. When you're dealing with people who come from, backgrounds, and this is why I say you have to be very careful and pay attention to patterns. You have to pay attention to behaviors in the beginning. If they're showing signs of jealousy, if they're showing signs of insecurity, if they're trying to maintain control because they think that something or someone may threaten their position, that is a red flag. That is a red flag. Okay? It's okay to admire your partner. It's okay to adore your partner. Okay, there's nothing in the book that says that it's not okay. But when you get to, there's that very thin line between admiration and worship. And in a relationship with a narcissist, you go from admiration to just plain old worship. And the minute you start to worship these people is the minute that they say, oh, well, shoot, I can get away with murder because you're not going anywhere. I can call you every name in the book. You're not going anywhere. I can emasculate you. You are not going anywhere. Remember, what we allow is what will continue. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that this person is the way they are. This person was the way they are way before you ever came into the picture. Okay? So if you were just a bystander walking into into a relationship with someone, and you just got sideswiped by all of this craziness, this had nothing to do with you. This is something that's been ingrained in their mind for a very long time. Yes, it hurts. Yes, we feel some kind of way about it. Yes, it broke our heart. Yes, it hurt our feelings, but it did not create us. Therefore, it cannot destroy us. Okay, and that's the thing that we have to understand. These people are going to always be who they are, because when they decided to go outside of your relationship and start dealing with other people, guess what? They didn't care about you. They did not care about you. They did not think twice about hurting you. They did not think twice about the betrayal, the disloyalty, nothing. It was all about their own self gratification, what they wanted. And there are plenty of selfish people in the world. We have to accept that. There are selfish people, but that doesn't mean that they have to be a part of your life. And it doesn't mean that they you know, have to have any kind of position in your life. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure I didn't forget anyone. Hey, Gil. Hi, Chris. Hi, Kareem. Or he would laugh at me when I cry. Narcissistic people, you have narcissists, you have sociopaths. They get off on other people's misery because they live in misery. They've been surrounded by misery for so long. So when someone else is going through pain or going through something that is, detrimental or daunting or, harrowing or whatever the case may be, when someone else is feeling lower than them, that makes them feel more superior. Okay? These people have had, and mind you, do not be fooled by grandiose narcissists or people who are, who walk with grandiosity. Don't be fooled by these people, because these same people walk with low self-esteem, self-loathing. They have their own internal issues, but they put up a really good front. These are people who put up a very good front. You have people, you see it every day, guys. You see narcissism every single day. You go online, if you go on TV, you see it everywhere you turn. Okay? You'll see it everywhere. I go on TikTok and I see it all the time. And it's a cry for attention. It's a cry for help. Everybody all of a sudden, social media gave us opportunity to create platforms and do certain things. And I'm not saying that, there's anything wrong with wanting to start something or wanting to be online. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you look at what people are doing online, taking off their clothes, taking off their shirts, just trying to attract and trying to bring in a following, that is a form of narcissism. Plain and simple. It's what it is. So when you go online or you go on, you watch TV or you watch, I mean, look at this was crazy when I heard about there were these two what is it, Good Morning America, something like that. The two anchors, the two anchors that left their spouses. They both left their spouses.
When she was getting a divorce from her husband.
Well, supposedly, I don't know. So, don't quote me on it. But supposedly, they had something going on way before it happened.
Uh-huh.
But how you get them is how you lose them. Okay. And I honestly, I listen. I'll make this very, very clear. If you got to leave somebody else to be with me, I don't want it. I don't want it. If you have to leave someone else, if that person, anyone you've ever dealt with, has to leave someone else to be with you, do not, please, for the love of God, do not fall for that. Okay? How you get them is how you lose them. And you have people that are breaking up marriages, breaking up their own families because of self gratification. Again, narcissism is everywhere you turn. Look online, open up your Instagram. The minute you open it up, you're going to see it all over the place. Social media has made it ever so more possible for it to spread out even more. You know, you have females, for example, females who are in relationships, okay, who are in relationships. I do not believe, and this is my opinion, and nobody has to agree with me because, hey, I'm entitled to my own opinion, but I don't believe that being a woman in a monogamous relationship and putting myself out there on social media, putting myself out there wearing these so tight, skimpy, damn near nothing on outfits, I do not believe that being respectful towards their partner. I don't. Well, if your partner was secure, then they would, it's not the matter of control, it's a matter of respect. I don't agree with it. When I hear females saying, well, I can't be with someone who wants to control how I look and how I dress. And no, 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 because you are a representation of that man. Vice versa, same thing for the fellas. You're a representation of that relationship with that woman. The cry for attention, the cry for, because that's exactly what it is. It's low self esteem. It's low self esteem, and because they're not satisfied enough with what they have at home. They're not satisfied enough with getting the attention and the admiration and the adoration from their own partner. They have to get it from everybody else. You know what they say, right? Leave things to the imagination. Certain things are not meant to be put on social media. Certain things are not meant to be put out publicly. Certain things are supposed to be between you and your partner. But you have a lot of these females who will sit there and do all kinds of provocative stuff for views, for likes, for attention. Narcissism is everywhere, no matter where we turn. It's all over the place. Yes, guy. They listen. I can't. I simply just can't. If you have to if you have to sneakily get away from a relationship, the only way I would say that I condone it is if it's domestic violence and you have no choice. You have to get yourself out of that situation and you have to sneak out. You have to, burrow out. That I understand 110%. But if you are just simply, I don't feel like being married anymore. I don't feel like, and you're going to go leave. And that person on the receiving end, whether aware or not, that person on the receiving end, getting the person who decided to leave their partner for them, that person, the same way they got them, is more than likely going to be the same way they lose them. Hold on one second. I'm going to make sure. Give me one sec. Why isn't. I see that Kara wrote something, but I can't see it on my chat. So, guys, some of the things that I wanted to talk about, some of the things that I wanted to talk about is, first of all, the different types of narcissists, but the common ones. And what I want people to understand is, because I know a lot of people are under the impression that all narcissists do the same things, which their behaviors are pervasive, meaning that their behaviors can apply to anyone. It's pretty universal, but not every narcissist is the same when it comes to certain aspects. For example, the love bombing. I know a lot of people tend to question, because you have people who question as far as love bombing is concerned. Love bombing may not always be the situation, especially in the beginning of a relationship. The reason I say that is because when you're dealing with, for example, a vulnerable narcissist, a vulnerable type of narcissist, which is also the introverted narcissist, they're not big on love bombing simply because their way of collecting supply is done counterintuitively. So basically, it's the grandiose types of narcissists are the ones who were probably, because they're the extroverted ones, they're the outgoing ones, they're the ones that love the spotlight, they're the ones who, who are enamored with being the center of attention. They will more than likely use love bombing within your relationship to grasp your attention, to keep your interest, and of course, to get you to trust them, to get you to be vulnerable with them. The vulnerable types or the introverted types are more than likely the ones to be they're the opposite. Okay, the way they get their supply is they fish for compliments. So maybe you have dealt with someone who wasn't like grandiose types where they were, you know, like harping on top of you or constantly, like, coaxing you. Maybe you dealt with a type that seemed modest. They seem down to earth. They seem humble. Okay, and in some cases they may have even put themselves down. They may have put themselves down. They may have told you, I don't feel worthy of being with you, or I don't feel worthy of this and that and all the, just finding ways to get you to feel sorry for them. I kind of prefer to call the introverted, vulnerable types the ones that are like ain't too proud to beg types, whereas like I will fish for your compliments, or I will, gain my gratification off of you validating my feelings, validating my emotions. Because when you have someone who puts themselves down, what's the first thing you're instinctually gonna do? You're gonna, oh, wait, don't say that about yourself. You're a great person. You're a nice person. Don't talk that way about yourself. You know, definitely lift yourself up more when you compliment them, when you put them on the pedestal, when you are, giving them that narcissistic supply, because that's exactly what it is. They're feeding off of that. They're feeding off of it. Okay. Vulnerable narcissists, introverted narcissists are more the loner types. Okay. Grandiose narcissists are usually the types that have a lot of friends, they have a lot of connections, they know a lot of people in, high places, and they're very big on showing that. They're very big on exposing that. Okay. They're the ones who like to have the spotlight, they like all of the attention on them. The vulnerable types are more so the ones that are not in big crowds like that. They're not in big groups like that. Okay. They are, and they could be extremely, extremely toxic. Okay. Their insecurities, they wear them on their sleeves, but they do it with their partners. They don't do it around people. They don't do it around external people like, friends or, other people who don't know them. They do it primarily with their partners. There are a lot of emotionally unavailable people. It's quite sad, unable to build real connections. A lot of the times, these are the ones where everyone else is the issue in their life but themselves. And simply because if you're trying to kind of give them a little nudge, like, listen, you got to grow up, you got to understand that it's not just your perspective, it's other people's perspectives. These are the ones, emotionally unavailable people are the kind of people that will, kind of like just you're trying to change me, you're trying to control me, you're trying to make me do something that I don't want to do, you're trying to, change everything about me, and I can't have that. They live in complacency. They're complacent. Emotionally unavailable people, even narcissists, they're complacent. They're the kind of people, if it ain't broke for me, I don't need to fix it. This is my life. This is how I choose to live it. This is how I want it to be. And you can't do anything about it. You're just trying to change me. I won't let you change me. You're arguing with me because you're trying to change me. And the fact of the matter is that you're not trying to change them, but you're trying to help them others understand that there's more than one person in this room. It's not just about you. It's not just about how you feel or how you want things. It's about the other person as well. Narcissists will make you feel bad for wanting consideration. How many of you have wanted consideration in your relationship? You wanted them to consider your feelings. You wanted them to consider you on so many different levels of your relationship. And the minute you bring it to their attention and you say, listen, I don't really think you were considering my feelings when you did this, or when you decided to do that, or when you thought about this. The minute you start to criticize them, the minute you start to bring it to their attention, they start to get very defensive. They'll get defensive, they'll pull back, they'll retreat. Okay. And then they will basically project onto you, you're trying to change me, you're trying to control me, you're trying to tell me what to do. And if you kind of think about it, cause and effect, right? Cause and effect, action, reaction. They do something, it goes against you as far as consideration is concerned. Let's just say that. And you bring it to their attention. That's one demerit. They do something, it goes against you, in consideration for you. You bring it to their attention. That's two demerits, and so forth and so on. So when everything is said and done, that they can no longer take, they can no longer, just they can no longer suck out of this relationship. When the time comes that they become bored, and they become bored and they want to let go of the relationship, they want to discard. This is why, when all is said and done, they tell other people. It's always a one sided story, guys. It will never be with your perspective. It's always going to be a one sided story. They will tell people, they'll basically twist the words, they'll twist everything around. So everything you ever brought to their attention, everything you ever said that was done, in negative reflection towards the relationship, everything, every criticism, everything will be flipped around, and it will be, you were controlling, you were clingy, you were overbearing, you could not, allow them to be themselves in the relationship. Whatever BS excuse, whatever BS lie they say, it will always come back down on you. So everything you brought to their attention, thinking that they would take into consideration, no, that was just them. They were marking it off. They were marking it off. They were making mental notes of everything that happened in your relationship. So that way, when the time came, because if you complain enough, and if you kind of show them that you're picking up on certain things, better believe they will start drawing out the map to your discard, and they will execute it. DJ says exactly. They're Dr. J and Mr. H. One person behind closed doors and another in front of others. The ones closets to them. I'm sorry, the ones closest to them always get treated the worst. The partners will always be treated the worst. You, as the partners of a narcissistic person, will always be treated the worst. Okay? You will be treated. Their friends will not even know that side of them. Their friends will not know that side of them. Family members already know because, I mean, come on, it was derivative from somewhere, right? Family members already know. And the fact that you were being the emotional punching bag, listen, don't fall asleep on the family members either, because I'm going to tell you something. Okay, you have family members that were actually glad that they met you because, if you have family members that maybe they were scapegoating or maybe they were, using, giving them their own medicine, whatever the case may be, you being their emotional punching bag, you being the person who takes the guff and takes all, the shitty end of the stick, you being the person that gets scapegoated by them means that the attention and the focus is taken off from them. Okay. So do not be surprised if you do have some family members that are willing to try to maintain a relationship with you because at some point you will eventually let that person back in even after a discard. Okay? You have family members that are sick just like that. Lee, how do I fix me? How do I fix well, I mean, the first step in learning how to fix ourselves, I mean, I don't really think we're ever truly fixed. I don't think we're ever truly fixed because we all have different personalities. We have different facets of our personalities. I don't believe we're ever truly fixed. I do believe that we work on ourselves. We work to, to do better with ourselves, for ourselves, okay, by ourselves. We learn to do better things. We learn to adapt because just like a narcissist, you can't, can you fix a narcissist? No, you can't. You cannot fix them. You can't fix them. You cannot change them. Okay. And I don't knock self-aware narcissists. I mean, listen, if you have, people who say, hey, I have NPD and this is what I'm doing. I listen, I'm on the fence with them. And I'm being honest with you. I'm on the fence with them. Okay. Because I have so little trust for people, especially when it comes to someone who tells me, if someone were to sit here and say, Erica, I have MPD, but I'm self aware and I'm doing all of these things, and I'm helping people. You know something? Sorry, but your peoples gave me a very bad impression. Therefore, I don't know if you're doing this really for attention or if you're really doing this to help people. I mean people who follow these types of people, if you like to follow them, you like to, watch their videos and you know, to each their own. I can't tell you what to do. But me personally, no, I don't follow them. No, I don't listen to them. I know what it is to have dealt with a narcissist, a narcissistic person, a person with bipolar disorder, a sociopath. I know what it is to have dealt with these people. I've been there. I don't need someone else who is in the same category as these people, diagnosed in the same category as these people, telling me, well, this is what it is. I already know. I already know. But, I mean, if people want to catch their side and catch their perspective, by all means, go right ahead and do so. I always encourage people who suffer these personality disorders, these, mental illnesses, always go for help. Definitely. I encourage it and I support it. But do I follow them? I stay my distance with that one. This is so accurate when they end up giving you the silent treatment and you end up reverse hoovering to get them back. Cue roller coaster, cue trauma bond. Basically, the silent treatment, yeah, it's a form of punishment. It's a way to keep you stuck. Silent treatment is a way to keep you stuck. It's a way to make you question yourself. What did I do? What could I have done better? Maybe if I did this, this person would love me. You just sit there putting all types of nonsense, because that's exactly what it is. You put all types of nonsense in your own head, not realizing that it's a vicious game that they play. That's all it is. It's a game. And it's emotional and psychological manipulation. Okay. It keeps you stuck. You're sitting there trying to figure out ways to get the person back in. And even so, I'll do one better. You may even go and look at what they're doing and see the kind of people that they're entertaining and try to force yourself to be like those people that they're entertaining simply because you want to reattract them or get their attention again. And let me tell you something. And I'm not one who, I don't listen. Okay? I don't try to insult people or anything like that. But at the time, if you see what it is that they're leaving you for, or if you see the likes of the people that they are discarding you for, that they're gaslighting you, that they are, stonewalling you for, once you start seeing the likes of these people, you listen, I simply walked away. I said, that's what you like? This is what you like to do? These are the kind of people you want to be around? These are the kind of people you want to associate with? Go ahead. Because there is no way I'm going to be like that. I am not going to be like any of those people. But you have people, unfortunately, who fall for that. They fall for it and they say, yep, yep, DJs, that you end up gaslighting yourself. You start to push all of this stuff in your head and say, what can I do? What do I need to do to be better, to do better for this person? Not even for yourself, for this person. I said myself to the person, what I can change. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to be the person that you want again? What do I need to do? But then, at the end of the day, I look at it this way. If that person said they're no longer happy with me, if that person said, well, you don't make me happy anymore, Erica, you don't do, whatever, you don't do X, Y, and Z, and it's just, it's not fulfilling me anymore. Guess what? It was never my responsibility. And that's what I realized. It was never my responsibility to fulfill this person. That was their own responsibility. I agreed to enter this relationship to share my own fulfillment alongside theirs. But because they didn't have self fulfillment, they didn't have self love, they didn't have emotional capacities, they didn't, you notice where I'm going with this? They didn't have any of these things. And because I carried what little I had, because at the end of the day, yes, I was codependent. Yes, I have my insecurities, but I was still willing to love like I'd never been hurt. I was still willing to be myself, be my empathetic self, like I have never been hurt. Which is why when they say, "Well, Erica, hurt people," mm, little on the fence with that one too, because I've been hurt plenty of times. I've been hurt plenty of times. I've had people try to teach me how to be someone that I am not. Okay. I have been, I have witnessed male emasculation, female emasculation. I've witnessed all of these things, but I refuse to allow it to deter me from being who I know I truly am deep down inside. And at the end of the day, guys, if you went through a discard, if you're sitting there wondering, was it me? Was it me? Was it my fault? What did I do? I mean, I pushed this person away. My actions did it. My codependency did it. It's me, 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 me. Listen, you're taking on way too much accountability and you're taking on someone else's accountability. So you got to stop for a second and say to yourself, this is what I feel and what I know is wrong with me because it's affecting me. Okay? You take accountability for enabling. You take accountability for allowing, for pretty much uh, it's this, yeah, allowing. Because at the end of the day, could I have left way sooner rather than being discarded? Yeah, I could have. I could have, because that person didn't put a gun to my head. That person didn't say, you better stay with me or else. No, I could have left, but I chose to stay, even though that person showed sides of himself that were hurtful, that were insensitive, that were disregarding. And that was simply because I felt maybe if I stay a little longer and I show this person a little bit more love and I show them that I'm really serious, that I'm not like everybody else, maybe they will change. There was nothing wrong with the fact that I cared enough, that I loved this person enough to want to love them through their worst. Where I faulted was I was being disregarded, I was being disrespected, and I was being emotionally hurt, and I didn't do anything about it. That's where I screwed up. DJ says, yes, you give it all to them and you end up lost as a person, a shell of a person. And it's amazing how you were with these people, you were in these relationships with these people. I love you. I want to marry you. I want to have kids with you. We're going to get a house together. You go to family functions. You guys maybe take trips together. You intermingle your families, whatever the case may be. You do all of these things and you're thinking that it's real. It's really real and it's so true. And all to be in the end discarded like you were a jump off, because that's really what it felt like. That's really what it felt like, you know? And then to see how, because I don't know everybody's personal experience, I can only go based on my own. But to go back and see total disregard, be given the silent treatment, be given the breadcrumbs, be given the gaslighting, not be given the clarity, see this person doing everything that they could, that they knew would hurt me, that they knew would hurt me. You see them online interacting with other people, you see them interacting with the exes that you thought was not even gonna be a problem, or that you were told not to worry about. You see them doing things for other people, maybe even things that you had even asked them, or things that you had always asked them in the midst of your relationship. You see them doing it for other people, like if you were non-existent, like if you were non-existent. Okay. And it wasn't so much, listen, I know a lot of you, because like I said, a lot of you, if you want to know my own story, mine is on my YouTube channel. Okay. Overcoming codependency and what I've gone through, it's all on my YouTube channel. But just to give you an idea, I'll give you one example, or one action I should say, that happened in the interim of everything going on and me going through the pain that I was going through. And this was a part of the time that I didn't think I could recover from it. Okay. And the withdrawals would hit me. Okay. If you're familiar with withdrawals, if you're not familiar, the withdrawals are pretty much what your body is going through. Your body is physically reacting, okay, with very bad jerking movements. You can't sleep. It kind of feels like an anxiety and a panic attack all in one. Okay. And in the interim of going through all of this, all I wanted was for this person to just clarify, listen, it's over, it's done with, that's it. I didn't get that. I did not get that. Okay. I got the we'll never know what happens in the future. I got the let's be friends and see, that's let's go on a break. That's what I got. But in the interim of going through all of this and feeling the pain and feeling just the hurt, I got the silent treatment. I got the stonewalling. I don't have to give you any answers. I don't have to explain anything to you. I don't have to tell you anything. I got cursed out. You name it, I got it. One of the things that was interesting to me most, and it actually was what it pissed me off, like extremely pissed me off, was when the person that I was dealing with, and I'm going through this pain, was online taking pictures. And interestingly enough, he took a picture, you know, dressed up, looking good, trying to look like, I guess whatever, get the attention of whoever was, stroking his ego. And he wore a piece of jewelry that I bought him when we were together. And this was jewelry that I had engraved, that I bought for him specifically, that I picked out myself, and I got it for him myself just because I knew he would really, really. He went And after everything he did, everything he said, every hurtful thing he could possibly say to me, went online to show off for his then many female followers, because these females came out of the woodworks once I got out of the picture. Okay. And he was posing for, for the audience with what I bought him. Okay. It pissed me off. But what got me most was that was the picture that showed me that him and his ex started following each other. And that was when I said, let me start putting two and two together. Hold up, wait a minute. All of a sudden, this is going on, and that's when I started to see things for what they were. I was like, okay, now I see where this is going. Blatant disregard, blatant disrespect. Now you're throwing the X in my face. Now you're doing this. Now you're doing that. And I completely shut down. I completely shut down. After all of that, and I saw, messages, not messages, but like comments from females indicative of communication behind the scenes. I saw late night logins when it's just so much. It's just too much to explain. But I saw a lot of things that I knew he would be very upset with if I had done it to him. And no regard whatsoever. None. I completely shut down and I completely took myself off of social media. That's when I knew I had to go no contact. And this was before I learned about narcissism, before I learned about narcissistic abuse. I had to go no contact. I had to go, if you guys, I don't know if you're familiar with smoking, but I used to smoke. And when I didn't have a cigarette for like a couple of hours, I would get very cranky and agitated and just like pissed off. Like I would just get really, that was like going cold turkey, where I had to completely out of sight, out of mind. That was my saying, out of sight, out of mind. If they're out of your sight, they're out of your mind. Okay? Because if you can't see anything, you can't react. If you can't see anything, you won't get hurt. If you can't see these things, it's almost like denying it to yourself, but but you're not killing yourself with it. And I went off of social media for a few months. I decided to just go no contact, completely no contact, and I just went my own way. I did get the text message. I got the birthday text message afterwards, and of course, you know, the culpability in that text message let me know. When you get a text message that says, I'm probably the last person you ever even want to talk to right now, but I want to wish you a happy birthday. That was letting me know I am aware of what I have done. I am aware of what I did to you. I'm not deluded at this moment. I'm aware, but there was no accountability. Still no accountability. I'm aware that I hurt you. I'm aware that you went offline, you went off the radar because you saw things that you didn't want to see. You're feeling things that you didn't want to feel. I'm aware of all of these things, but no accountability. None. And for a little bit I did backslide. I fell into that what is the feeling, guys, when you kind of fall back into it because those feelings come back up and those emotions come back in and you're thinking about the person again because they reached out to you. And I didn't go full because that meant I didn't change my phone number. He still had my phone number. But I'm aware of what I did to you. I'm aware of what I said to you. I'm aware of how I made you feel because right now I'm aware you probably don't even want to talk to me. And I was a sucker for it and I fell for it. I broke no contact. I responded to the person and we were sporadically messaging back and forth, but something told me to stay away. Something was keeping me away, whatever that was. God was keeping me away. And when a day came that I said, I want to have final closure. And I prayed on it and I said, God, if I'm going to be able to get my closure, whichever way this goes, I want to end this now. I reached out to the person. I said, can we meet so we can talk? The person texted me back and said, I'm not around. I can't talk to you. I took it as, all right, it is what it is. And I created the closure myself. I changed my phone number. I moved from my location at the time that I was living, and I sent a goodbye letter. Nostalgia. Thank you, DJ. I sent the goodbye letter and I went my own way. And I made sure that if I was sending that letter, I had to change my phone number because I knew that if I sent the letter and that person received the letter, they were going to try to reach out to me. Okay. It was hard, guys. It wasn't easy for me. It was very, very hard, but I did it. And from that point on, I kept looking forward and I did not look back. Did not look back. And I will tell you, it takes the strength of God to do it because it took the strength of God for me to do it, but I did it. I moved forward and I met great people along the way. And I come to learn my self love, my self worthiness. I've come to learn my autonomy. I overcame codependency. And here I am with you guys. But I know that in that moment when you're going through the discard, you feel pain, you feel anger, you feel hatred, you feel love, you feel confusion. You feel so many different things at one time. You feel so many different things at one time. But I want you to understand that in spite of it all, in spite of it all, going no contact, going in your own direction, moving forward, not looking back, taking everything you have left, whatever strength you have left, and taking it with you will be the best decision that you will ever make. It will be the best decision that you will ever make. No regrets, no worries, no wondering, did I make the right choice? Trust me, you did. Trust me, you did. Now, just to go a little more into it, we're going to talk about some of the actions, especially within your relationship, okay? And oftentimes if you dealing with these types of people, and it could be your romantic, family, or friendships, guys, okay? How many of you familiar with them twisting your words? When they twist your words around, okay? You say something, they say it back to you, but it was completely opposite of what you said. Completely opposite of what you said. Or they'll select certain words in something that you say and point the words that are not working for them, they'll point those words out. Oh, Sky, trust me, healing takes time. Healing takes time, but you will get there. You will get there. Mind you, I'm still trauma healing as far as my own personal childhood trauma. Okay. I'm still dealing with that. I'm still working on that. But you will get there. I can promise you that. Just stay the course. Okay. Continue to go to God for guidance, but you will definitely get there. But yes, twisting words or pointing out certain phrases, certain things, and the things that you say to them. So, like for example, like say you sent them a whole text message, a whole paragraph, right? And you're expressing yourself, you're saying, but in all of what you said, they come back at you and they argue with you about something that is not, it's not very relevant to the main core issue that you guys are facing. Okay. Or if you say something to them, again, they'll twist your words. Let's say, for example, you say to them, you're always going out with your friends every Friday. Can we at least have one Friday together? That's just an example. They will twist it around and say, well, you know, again, example. Well, what's the problem? What do you think I'm doing something? You think I'm out there, messing around or whatever? Or, they'll tell you something to the effect of, oh, so now I can't have friends? That's twisting your words. So now you're telling me I can't have friends. No, I'm saying, can you take a day off from spending a Friday night with your friends and spend Friday with me? Oh, now it's a problem. Now it's a problem that I go out with my friends what you probably think I'm doing, and oftentimes if you pay attention to what they're saying, pay very close attention to what people say because they reveal themselves when they speak. They reveal themselves when they speak. Okay. Deflection. You guys already know deflection, right? When they're pretty much shifting the blame. So if you catch them cheating on you, or if they're lying to you, or if they're becoming very verbally abusive towards you or aggressive, it always starts with something that you did. I did A, B, and C because you did X, Y, and Z. I cheated on you because you're never home. I went out of our relationship because, well, you're always accusing me of it. So if I'm going to be accused of something, I might as well do it. Like it will always, it will be something that they did, but it'll be your fault that they did it. Withholding. Withholding can be a number of things, guys. They could be withholding money. They could be withholding sex, information. They can be withholding affection. Okay. Withholding in your relationship is a way to control you. So, the puppet, they're the puppet master. You're the actual puppet. And by withholding, that will pretty much take off the spotlight on the issues that they have with themselves and actually put the spotlight onto you. So if I withhold sex from you, or if I withhold emotions, emotions, or if I withhold affection, that will make you question your value. It'll make you question your worth. What am I doing? What am I not doing that this person is not giving, is not providing to me, providing for me in this relationship. When it comes to sex, withholding sex, usually with a narcissistic person, and fellas, listen, it's not in every man's case, but for example, ladies, if you dealt with a male narcissist and they are withholding sex, it can also be due to a sexual dysfunction. Just keep that in mind, okay? Male narcissists are emasculated men. They are emasculated men, which more than likely it started at a very young age. But that can be a reason why they are withholding sex because they have a sexual dysfunction. It's not every male narcissist, no, but that can be a possibility. Another possibility is they could be dealing with someone else, okay? And in that, they are currently focused on their, new supply at the time. And they could be, I guess maybe investing so much time in that and cheating and doing whatever on the outskirts that, it's just something whereas they're more focused, their attention is more on that new supply. So they're not going to be as physically active with you. And of course, if you have, some people say, well, if that's going to be the case, then why not just leave? Understand something. When you're dealing with someone who's a narcissist or a narcissistic person, if they're still in the relationship with you, but they're withholding sex, they're withholding affection, if they're still there, chances are it's because of other reasons. There are other resources, okay? Narcissists don't just stay for sex, they can stay for a place to stay, stability. They can stay, because you share finances, you share a home together. It could be a number of reasons. But if they are in that position that they are dealing with someone else while they are in a relationship with you, that could be a possibility. And another reason why they would withhold sex and affection is a way to punish you. That's probably the most common reason. It's a way to punish you. It's a way to pretty much erode your confidence. It's to make you, it's to prompt you to do more in the relationship to keep their attention. Okay. And again, it's punishment. It's simply a way to control you. All right. When you're dealing with someone in a relationship that is seeking to control you, they will utilize manipulative tactics to do that. Picking fights. That's another thing. They love to pick, they're notoriously known for picking fights. They will pick fights with you. If they want to get up and get out the house and go mess around or do whatever, they will pick a fight with you. Okay? If they want to do something that they know they don't want you doing, they will pick a fight with you. If they're having a crappy day and you are having a wonderful day, they will pick a fight with you. And the fights can be something so small, it could be something so big, it doesn't matter. But they will pick fights with you to, again, maintain control, do what they want to do, get away with what they want to get away with. And at the end of the day, if you argue with them about it, oh, you're constantly fighting. I don't even know why I deal with this. I don't know why I deal with you. Why, you know what? If you don't want to be here, then just effing leave. And they will tell you to leave. They'll tell you, get the F out of my house. Just go. Go, whatever, do whatever you want. I don't care. And the minute you take them up on that, or the minute you get up and leave, or the minute you decide to say, you know something, I'm so done with this crap, this back and forth nonsense. You get up and you leave and you go do your own thing and you don't have to sleep around. You could just go to your friend's house or go to a neighbor's house. Oh, I knew you were cheating. I knew you were a slut, or I knew you were sleeping around with other women. It's just all kinds of, and like I said, if you pay attention, because oftentimes narcissistic people, narcissists, reveal themselves. Everything they're projecting onto you is more than likely what they are doing themselves. So they can cheat, they can go out there, they can do what they want, they can grasp the attention, they can be at the center of attention, they can steal the spotlight, but you must sit put. You have to sit put and do not get up unless they say so. Good old double standards with a narcissist. Okay? Do as I say, not as I do. Don't question me with what I do. Don't ask me questions of anything. Just sit there and look pretty, make me look good, or sit there and make us look good and make us look like a power couple or make us look like this and that. But what I do on my own time, what we do behind closed doors, that's between you and me. And when we are behind closed doors, I own you. That's another thing, guys. In a relationship with them, you are not their partner. Okay? To be a partner means that you are sharing responsibilities, you are sharing the relationship. To be a partner is indicative of reciprocation. Okay? Equal, 50-50, 100-100, however way you want to do it. With a narcissistic person, you are not a partner. You are their property. You are They are owners of you. They own you. Okay? Which is why, if a lot of you, I don't know, maybe not a lot, but some of you have gone back, if you've gone back, if you've fallen for it again, time after time after time, it happens. Shit happens, right? That's what reconfirms to them, excuse me, reconfirms for them that you belong to them. No matter what I do, no matter how bad I treat you, no matter where I go, no matter who I talk to, what I say, whatever, you come back to me, that is reconfirming that I own you. That I own you and there's no getting away from me. They're exploitative. Narcissists are very exploitative people, meaning they want to learn things about you. They want to learn about your past. They want to learn your fears. They want to learn your pains. They want to learn everything about you, not because they care about you, not because they want to get to know you as a person, but because given the opportunity, they will exploit these things. Okay? They will exploit your fears, they will exploit your secrets, they will exploit your business. Relationships, friendships, or family. Narcissists are very exploitative people. Narcissistic parents exploit their children. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. And I give it to the parents who love their kids, want to protect their kids. But when you got parents that are doing certain things with their children to gain attention from the public, to gain attention from, from high people, from, like, the big top, whatever you want to call it. That is exploitation. You guys see it all the time too on social media, okay? You'll know exploitation when you see it. When you see parents are really putting their children out there for profit, for gain, okay? You see it all the time with these celebrities. You already know which celebrities I'm talking about too. Quite a few of them, actually. But they exploit their children for gain, for money, for attention, for admiration, for likes. Okay? People do it all the time. You have predators out there in the world. You have, you have pedophilia. You have all of this stuff going on social media, in the media, okay? And yet you still have parents who will sit there and dangle their children in front of these predators for for gain, for gain. It's sick. It's sick, and it's very destructive, and it's very dangerous. Extremely dangerous. But within your relationships, they can be very exploitative, especially if you reject them. If you reject them, like, if they have been so used to gaining off of you, or getting your attention, getting reactions out of you, getting you to come back in, successfully hoovering you, if they have been used to doing these things, when if and when you reject them, they become very exploitative. Okay? They will go online, they will, I wouldn't even say spread rumors and gossip, because that's smear campaign, but being exploitative is they will share your deepest, darkest secrets, secrets that you've confided in them with. Okay? And they will go out there and they will hurt you with them. They will hurt you with it. Word salad. Word salad. I wanted to touch that one too. Because with word salad, I mean, listen, what is a word? What is word salad? It's pretty much the use of just words jumbled up, right? Mixed up words just coming out, dancing around the issue, dancing around conversations. Oftentimes, manipulators will use word salad. So if you ask a simple question and they're taking 5 minutes to answer that simple question, and they're using just a whole bunch of different words, and it's making absolutely no sense, that's simply because, clearly, number one, they're lying. Okay, they're in a position, a very uncomfortable position, because they don't want to incriminate themselves, or, show any form of guilt. They will utilize different words, and they'll just bunch them up together and dance around the entire question. And they use word salad to get you to just pretty much give up. It's like you look at them like, what the hell are you talking about? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's like, and the birds was in the sky, and then, I took the A train, you know, uptown, and then all of a sudden, it's just a whole bunch of words that you really do not understand. And you're just to the point, by the time you're done with that conversation, you're just like, just go. Just go. Whatever. Whatever. Just go. Like, that would be your response. Yep, you used to twist my words, and I'm like, what? That's not what I'm saying. Yep. Twisting your words around is just a way, it's like another form of deflection. It's just to get you to move on to something else. Let's not talk about this. You caught me in something and I don't want to talk about this, so boom. Or, I'm using this as an excuse to get away, or to go do something, or to, and they'll always twisting the words. I'm a very particular kind of person. Okay? I'm a particular kind of person. If you're going to tell me something I said, I want you to reiterate it to me word for word, okay? Say it to me word for word what I said. Do not add a word, do not subtract a word. You're going to say it to me word for word, because the minute you are off a word, even a letter, okay? I will point that out to you. It's very, very hard to twist my words, extremely hard. And me, I'm one, if someone asks me, well, Erica, did you say this? Did you say that? Did you hear it come out of my mouth? Well, yes, then yeah, I said it. When did you hear it? How did you hear it? Where did you hear it? I want to know everything. Because I'm one, I don't, I don't throw stones and hide my hands. That's not the kind of person I am. You didn't know the name for it, but he used to do that. Yeah. Word salad is it's very common with manipulators. It's very common with people who have something to hide. It's very common with people who are trying to get away with something or trying to deflect. They're trying to get away from whatever it is that you're trying to. But that's, it's like word salad, dancing around it. It's all the same thing. It's pretty much trying to throw words at you so it'll get you to move on to something else. It'll confuse you and pretty much tire you out and say, okay, no, just whatever, just go. Scapegoating. Scapegoating is, pretty much putting the blame onto you, making you the fall guy, fall girl. It happens in family dynamics. You have parents who scapegoat their children. They make their children, they point their children out to be responsible for all of the failures in their lives or, in the household or in their relationships. Your father left because of you. Your mother left because of you. It's never their own fault. It's never something that happened. Like if you also have those parents who will scapegoat their children and really blame their children for why their marriage didn't work out. My marriage with your father or my marriage with this person didn't work out because of you. You're difficult, you're aggressive, you're a pain in the ass, you're, whatever, okay? They will blame their children for the failures in their lives. They won't say take accountability and say no, it's because of my shitty choices. No. I'd rather just blame my kids. I can't have happiness because you kids don't know how to allow me to have happiness. Makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever. But then you have these parents that will, if they can't make you their own personal tool, if they can't project their ego onto you, if they can't make you into a replica of themselves, they're going to scapegoat you. Okay? They're going to scapegoat you. So if you do not work with the agenda of the narcissistic parent, if you don't work with their agenda and say, okay, mom, okay, dad, what you say goes, I agree with you, I'm gonna work with you, I'm gonna execute whatever you need me to. If you do not do that, they will scapegoat you and they will push all the blame. They will push all of the negativity in the household. They will push it on you. And often when a parent is scapegoating their child, they will probably get the other children, they'll try to pit the other children against that child. So they'll implement triangulation. Okay. They will try to get the other kids. I'm very familiar with triangulation. Trust me on that. They'll try to get the other kids to side with them and go against the child that they're scapegoating. So in your relationship, if your partner was scapegoating you, if your partner was, giving you some form of punishment, they will use other people, they will use triangulation as a way to punish you further. So if they already got you down on your knees to where your insecurities are at the surface and they know that their actions are bothering you or they're making you feel, less than secure or less than enough, they will use other people, could be anybody. They'll use other people or maybe even exes and triangulate you to get reactions out of you, to get you to, kind of surrender to them. These are people who like to be worshiped. They like to be worshiped, okay? They want you to worship the ground that they walk on. They don't want you looking at anyone else. They don't want you interacting with anyone else. They don't want you doing anything that they know they'll eventually do to you for fear of losing your supply for them. Okay. They have to, one thing we got to understand about narcissists, guys, is that they have to go through a lot to put up a show. They have to go through a lot to put up this front. This is not something that is just like, because obviously it doesn't come naturally for them. So they have to really, really do their due diligence and work hard to keep up that mask and keep it up for a while at that. Okay. What comes naturally for you doesn't come naturally for them. It has to be something that it's called cognitive. It's cognitive empathy. So it's pretty much everything that they've presented to you: emotions, love, empathy, sympathy. See where I'm going with that? It's cognitive. It's up here. That means it's learned behavior. They learned it. They got a book, they went to Google, they went to Wikipedia, whatever. Okay. They looked at movies, whatever the case may be. And it's something that's studied, it's something that's learned. And then they go ahead and draw up the schematics of everything, and then boom, they execute. That's what they do. And where we F up is that we automatically assume that when these people are becoming who their true nature, what their true nature is, we automatically assume that it is us. We're the problem. But think about it. Just think about it for a second. In your relationship, were you not being nurturing? Were you not being caring, loving, kind? Were you not doing all of these things for these people? And logically, you would say to yourself, yeah, I was doing all of these things for these people. So why the hell are you coming at me with this, talking about this is my fault? At that time, you didn't think that way. You didn't think that way. You looked at it as this person is saying it's all my fault. They're acting the way they're acting because of me. They're treating me like crap because of me. And all I need to do is just change my ways because I want that person to go back to being the person that I fell in love with. And the sad truth is the person that you fell in love with, it's not even them. It's not even them. How do you accept the fact that you are now a different person after all of that? Because I'm trying to get back to my old self, but I know I can't. Well, it's because I accepted the fact that I won't be my old self. I'm not my old self. I'm not the same person I used to be. You have to embrace evolution. That's the whole point of evolving. When you evolve, that means you're shedding. You are shedding who you used to be. You're shedding your way of thinking, your thought process. You're shedding all of that. Because everything you learned before learning about who you truly are now was a lie. You learned that everything you learned was a lie. Codependency, that's a lie. Narcissism, that's a lie. Okay. You're we have to remember that we're not born codependent. We're not born. I wasn't born codependent. I wasn't, you weren't, people weren't born without empathy. That's the first thing that a child has when as soon as they come out of the womb, they are, let's put it this way. A doctor spanks you, you're crying. You're literally crying because, it's you just feel the pain, but you feel, like you were taken out of your, as it's described, we're taken out of our comfort zone, right? We're taken out of the womb. But how is one born with codependency? How is one born with the idea that they are worthless, that they have no value? How is someone born that way? You're not born that way. You're trained to believe that. You are trained to believe that you are not good enough, that nothing you do will ever be good enough, that you have to earn people's love. First of all, if God's love is for free, why am I earning another person's love? Think about it. The creator of the heavens and earth is giving me love and salvation, love and salvation, all for my loyalty. That's all he wants is my loyalty. Okay? He doesn't want money. He doesn't want money from me. He doesn't want me to jump through all kinds of hoops. He does not want me to, to cater to his wants and desires, and he just wants the best thing for me. He wants me to be saved. He wants to provide me my salvation so I can have another chance in life. Why? Why? If God is not making me beg and pay for his love, and it's listen, man, everything these people ever taught you, everything these people ever projected onto you, everything these people put into your head, everything these people said to you, everything that they made you feel, okay? Every bit of it was all a fucking lie. It was a lie. Pardon the French, but it was a lie. And now it's time to wake up and realize the truth about it. Realize the truth about yourself, okay? You're going to put that love and loyalty into something? Hey, put it into the one person that can help you get to where you need to go. Because these people, if you notice, they're still doing the same shit. They're still doing the same thing, just to different people. Okay? You never go back to being who you used to be. You become a better version of that person. That's all. That's all it is. And at the end of the day, if I am going to worship someone, I'm going to worship God. If I'm going to value someone, okay, even if it's not myself, I'm going to value God, because God is going to help me get to where I need to be so I can learn to value myself. I'm not putting my faith into other people who are just as flawed as me. Not doing that. It's a midlife crisis common with narcissistic people. Ex left after 21 years of marriage and was acting like a teenager afterwards. Forgot she had kids and was 40, not 18. Well, it's interesting because you have people who go through midlife crisis, men and women alike. They do go through midlife crisis, and every single one of them react differently. Narcissists, and here's my honest opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion on this. My opinion is they never really wanted that kind of life to begin with. They never wanted that life to begin with. If you know someone who's a narcissist or it's just extremely narcissistic, these kind of people never wanted that kind of life to begin with. Narcissistic people, they don't like to be tied down. They don't want their freedom taken away from them. They always want to have freedom. They always want to have the attention and the spotlight. They always want that on them. Having children for them would diminish that. It would diminish that. If a narcissist female clearly had children, one, it's too much responsibility. Children are very big responsibilities, and narcissists don't know how to do responsibility. Two, that means that they have to put whatever self-serving gratification, gratifying needs that they have to put that in the back burner because, oh, now I got to take care of the kid. I have to take care of the kid, and I just don't really feel like doing it. I don't want to do it, but I have to for fear of being judged, mind you. They will provide for their kids on a materialistic level. They will, yeah, put a roof over their head. They'll do the basics. They'll do the basics for their kids, but they won't provide for them on a balanced level. They won't provide for them emotionally. They won't be there for them to support them throughout their life in the under the premise of being an actual parent and emotionally supporting their kids. They won't do that. Once their kids reach a certain age, now the kids are old enough to either take care of themselves or old enough to not only take care of themselves but also take care of the parent, take care of the narcissistic parent. Children become tools for these people. They're not they're not people. Their children are not people. They are, I'm going to say, not inanimate objects, but they're objects for them. Narcissistic parents look at their children as, you're my property, you do as I say, no questions asked. I don't care what anyone else says. Narcissistic parents will parentify their children, especially the oldest child. They will make the oldest child responsible for the other children in the household if there's more than one. And they will, and if they're not, if even if they're the only child, the narcissistic parent will become the responsibility for that child. But usually they really don't want this type of life. They don't want the settled down life. They don't want the family life. They want to have their cake and eat it too. That's just the way they are. They want to have their cake and eat it too. So if if this person left after all that time, the fact of the matter is that, I mean, well, I'm not even going to say the fact. My opinion is they never really wanted to be there. Not that it had anything to do with you or had anything to do with the kids. It was just simply they were there because often they stay around for fear of being judged. They don't like to be judged. They don't like to be criticized. And they don't like to be held accountable for anything that they do. And it's sad. Listen, midlife crisis, I don't believe in that shit, man. I really don't. I really don't. Like, that to me is a cop out. It's a cop out. Oh, well, I want to see if I still have it. So I went out there and I cheated. Oh, what do you expect? I'm going through a midlife crisis. Come on. Really? Really? Or they'll get up and they will leave and they will abandon everything that they've had, whether it be 10, 15, 20, 30 years. They'll abandon it all. And then when they go out there and then they realize, oh shit, I really wasn't missing anything. I wasn't really missing much. Eventually it gets boring. That kind of lifestyle gets boring, which is why a lot of them often come back. They try to come back. And I mean, you guys decide what you want to do with it as long as it doesn't get violent. You know what I'm saying? But I personally don't believe in midlife crisis. I don't believe in any of that. I look at it as, you either really you're all the way in or you're not. That's the way it is. His mom used to pin the kids up like she would have the golden child and the rest of his kids were. Oh no, you already answered that one. Yeah, well, when it boils down to the children, my biggest concern, maybe next week we'll talk more about narcissistic parents, especially the moms. The moms. I mean, we have narcissistic dads, and we already know, but I'm definitely going to delve more into narcissistic mothers because you know it all starts from somewhere, especially for you guys who are dealing with the kinds of females who are extremely narcissistic. Okay, chances are you're dealing with the extension of her mother's ego, which was projected onto her. Narcissistic females are very toxic, and they are very entitled, and they're just very detrimental. And it's simply based on what they were conditioned to believe. And majority of narcissistic females were conditioned to believe that, I'm going to give it to you layman's terms, men ain't shit. That's what they were conditioned to believe. Okay, which is why they don't respect you, why they don't value you. And somewhere along those lines, there's hidden resentment, probably for their own fathers, and they're projecting that onto you. They're projecting it onto you. But we'll talk more about that next week. We'll definitely delve more into female narcissists next week. But guys, I will definitely be back on Tuesday. I will be on TikTok on Tuesday. I have not been able to go onto TikTok because I've had a few more projects due with school. My finals are coming up. I will be done with school this semester on the 14th of December. And afterwards, I should be able to schedule a couple of one-on-ones and some, group, maybe a group meeting or two. So I'll keep you posted. But go to the website narcsurvival101.com and sign up for the website. So all the updates that I post on the website, you'll be notified of it. Okay. In case, I'm sure a few probably don't already know, but I do one-on-ones. It's just, support one-on-ones. It's not, you don't get charged for anything. It's just it comes first come, first serve. So you just have to, you know, basically go to the website, check out the available days, and then you can schedule a one-on-one with me. You get an hour, and if you need to vent, you need to talk, you want some advice, whatever the case may be, that's what I would be here for. Okay. So I'll be setting up the schedule once the semester is over, so we can resume doing our one-on-ones, and I on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, I let everybody know. So that way, if you are interested in doing a one-on-one and speaking face to face with me, we can set something up. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. Chris, thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. And guys, I just want to thank each and every one of you for supporting, for being here, for, sticking with it, and, allowing me to accompany you on your journey. Okay. It's been one heck of a ride, but I promise you, when you get to your destination, you are going to feel so much better about yourself. You really, really are. And just remember what I told you guys. Anything these people have told you, anything these people have made you feel in any way, shape, or form that has not made you feel good, especially about yourself, has been a lie. Okay? There was nothing you could have done. There was nothing you could have said. There was nothing. There was really nothing. You tried. Hey, at least you can say you tried, right? Now it's just time to, let them get on with their life. You get on with yours. And I know it's a process. I know it's gonna be a lengthy road, but you're gonna get there. We're going to get you there. Okay. If you need to reach out to me, if you need, some extra support, you can email me narcsurvival101 at gmail.com. You can send me a message on the website. I do get it directly into my email as well. You can also, anybody on Facebook, if you want to message me, you can message me on Facebook. But chances are it's probably better if you just email me, because I get a lot of messages and I try to get back to people as much as I can. But if you can email me, that would be great. Again, narcsurvival101 at gmail.com. Guys, thank you so, so, so very much. Thank you, Sky. Thank you for being here. I know, honey. I know. And you know something? It's going to end. I promise you. Okay? I promise you that it will. But you have my info if you want to reach out to me, if you need any help with anything. And just so you know, guys, also, I'm going to be working on some more paintings. Like I said, I have not been able to get too involved because, the semester's almost over. So I'm working on paintings because I do giveaways. I like to do art giveaways, creative, pretty, funky, colorful paintings just to kind of help brighten your day. Okay. That's what I do. I'm not a professional artist. I do try, but the giveaways are for free as well. If you do happen to win, you just got to give me your info so you can let me know where I got to send it. All right. So we'll get all of that stuff next week. I'll get back into it and I'll show you guys all the photos. It's just, I'm getting back into the groove of things, guys. I'm getting back into it. Okay. School has been very, very demanding of me, but I'm here, guys. Thank you so, so very much again, guys, for being here, for the love and support. If you need me, you know where to find me. Have a beautiful night. Have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, I'll get to see you guys on TikTok at Narc Survival 101, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be live. And if not, I'll be back here next week, Friday, same time, 8:25, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to talk about some more stuff. All right. So much love to you all. Love, peace, blessings. As always, God's protection. Okay. Praying that the Holy Spirit protects each and every one of you. And like I said, if you need me, you know where to find me. Have a beautiful night, guys. Wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Love you all. I'll see you next week. Good night, guys.